Luna's Odyssey of Colors, a tale of self-discovery and acceptance. Once upon a time, in the serene land of Diversity Hills, a world of rolling hills and endless pastures, there thrived a society of sheep. These sheep were renowned for their striking black and white coats, wearing their monochromatic elegance like a badge of honor. However, amid this picturesque world, a remarkable sheep was born. This peculiar sheep, known as Luna, was unlike any other in the flock. Her fleece was a mesmerizing tapestry of vibrant colors, ranging from brilliant blues and radiant reds to lush greens and sunny yellows. Luna's appearance was a beacon in a sea of black and white, marking her as an outsider from the very beginning. From the moment of her birth, Luna faced relentless discrimination and ridicule. It wasn't just the flock that treated her differently, even her own family couldn't accept her. The other sheep would bleat cruelly at her, taunting her for her colorful coat. Her uncle, a stern and traditional sheep, was the first to voice his disapproval. "She's a disgrace to our family," he would grumble, casting disapproving glances at Luna during family gatherings. Her aunt, known for her sharp tongue, never missed an opportunity to taunt Luna. "Look at that rainbow mess," she would sneer, her laughter cutting through Luna's spirit like a cold wind. Even her cousins joined in, mimicking Luna's colorful coat with exaggerated movements and cruel bleats. They couldn't understand why she couldn't be like them, why she had to stand out so vividly. Luna's mother wept daily over her daughter's plight, while her father sighed deeply every day. Luna endured the harsh words and cold stares day after day, keeping her silence, especially around her family. She felt utterly wretched, convinced she didn't belong in this world. She questioned herself countless times, wondering why she didn't have a beautiful black fleece like the rest, why she was so ugly, and why she felt like such a misfit in a world that celebrated conformity. Luna had always kept her head down, avoiding the cruel stares and harsh words from her family and monochromatic peers. She concealed herself among the shadows and dared not venture out during the day, always waiting until the dead of night to run alone under the soothing moonlight. She often roamed the moonlit fields in solitude, taking solace in the company of the moon. "Thank you for being with me," she whispered to the moon, her tears falling like shimmering stars. One night, driven by her overwhelming sadness and shame, Luna wandered farther from home than ever before and became lost. She entered a mysterious fog, losing her sense of direction. Just as Luna was at a loss, the fog suddenly dissipated, unveiling a serene, moonlit lake. Luna approached the edge of the lake, her reflection in the water revealing her colorful fleece, tears welling up in her eyes as frustration consumed her. A gentle breeze swept through the area, causing ripples to dance across the calm lake. From the central area of the lake, an enchanting woman emerged, her long, flowing hair mirroring the colors of Luna's fleece. She possessed an otherworldly aura, and her presence was enchanting. With empathy in her eyes, the woman asked, "What makes you so sad, poor little one?" Luna gazed at her in awe and replied, "I am the shame of my family, and I shouldn't have been born into this world." Luna poured her heart out, sharing her life story, the ridicule and insults she endured from her family and peers, and the overwhelming hopelessness that had consumed her. The woman listened attentively, occasionally uttering words like, "Oh no," and "my poor thing." Luna, who had never felt so genuinely heard and understood, began to feel a glimmer of happiness. Finally, the woman said, Come here, come to me. They really shouldn't treat you like that. I see you as a very kind and lovely soul. Come to me. I want to give you a big, warm hug. Luna couldn't resist the allure of the woman's tender words and outstretched arms. With newfound hope and trust, she started to walk toward the lake, drawn to the enchanting figure before her. As Luna continued to walk toward the center of the lake, her steps became heavier as the water submerged her ankles and then her knees. The enchanting voice of the woman on the lake had lulled her into a trance-like state, making her almost forget her troubles. But just as Luna was about to step further into the lake, a loud and urgent "baa" pierced the quiet night, jolting her awake. She looked around and saw a beautiful lamb with dark fur sprinting toward her, urgently calling out, "Come back quickly." Luna's heart raced with fear as she glanced back at the woman on the lake. The woman continued to beckon her calmly, saying, "Come here, little thing. You are so cute. I want to hug you and love you so much. Come to me, and I promise you will have no sadness in the future." The dark-furred sheep reached Luna, pushing her away from the lake. Luna hesitated, torn between the mesmerizing call of the woman and the warning of the black sheep. However, she found herself gradually leaving the lake, guided by the black sheep. Just as Luna was about to make a choice, the beautiful woman in white clothes transformed before her eyes. Her serene expression twisted into one of rage and ferocity, and she shouted fiercely, "Come back." Terrified and now certain that something was amiss, Luna turned and followed the black sheep, running as fast as her legs could carry her. The woman turned the lake water into a torrential rain, and big drops fell on their bodies. The black sheep ran by her side, guiding her through the darkness away from the perilous lake. The night air seemed to grow colder, and Luna's heart pounded in her chest as she fled from the mysterious and malevolent presence at the lake's edge. Far from danger, the black sheep stopped and said to Luna, "That woman is, in fact, the notorious lake witch, specializing in sucking the souls of living beings for a living." Drenched and feeling more despondent than ever, Luna didn't know how to respond. Tears welled up, and she began to cry softly. "Hey, you are very special and valuable. Don't lose faith just because of what others say about you. I know a place, a colorful world. I believe it belongs to you, and it's not far from here," the black sheep said. Luna raised her head dubiously, staring blankly at the black sheep. "Head south from here, and before long, a whole new life will unfold for you. You don't have to believe me, just give yourself a chance. Every life is precious and valuable." Luna looked up, her eyes fixed on the south, hesitation in her heart. Just as she hesitated, the black sheep turned into a spirit with two large wings and disappeared into the air. Luna heard the voice of the black sheep from behind, "Just go." Luna turned to thank the black sheep, but there was no sign of it. Luna looked around, her eyes once again drawn to the south, and with a deep breath, she took her first step forward, embarking on a new and uncertain journey. The moon watched over her as usual, casting its gentle light upon the path. The night seemed to embrace her, guiding her steps toward an unknown destiny. After what seemed like an eternity, Luna arrived in a new land, a world unlike anything she had ever seen. Here, the meadows were alive with a symphony of colors, and the sheep that roamed the fields were as diverse as the wildflowers that adorned the landscape. Luna was utterly stunned by the scene before her. She glanced left and right, her steps moving mechanically as she carefully made her way through the herd. Whenever a grazing sheep raised its head to catch sight of her, Luna would quickly lower her gaze. To her surprise, not a single sheep seemed to find her unusual. There was no sheep that showed a look of astonishment upon seeing her, and not one sheep sneered or chastised her. They simply grazed, raised their heads to rest, and then lowered them to continue munching on grass, in a lazy and relaxed manner, as if everything in their eyes was perfectly ordinary. Luna slowly gained confidence, and with a growling hunger in her belly, she stopped in an open space and began to devour her food with gusto. After filling her belly, Luna continued her journey. Some of the sheep began to greet her with friendly smiles, and there were even those who admired her vibrant fleece and celebrated her uniqueness. In this accepting community, Luna's self-esteem blossomed, and she learned to embrace her true identity. She made friends who appreciated her for who she was, and together, they embarked on countless adventures under the endless skies of their vibrant world. Years passed, and Luna became a respected member of her newfound flock. She no longer felt like an outcast. Instead, she had learned to cherish herself for being herself, recognizing her worth, accepting herself, and being proud of herself. She shared stories of her past, the trials she had faced, and the journey that had led her to their colorful haven. Luna's tale of resilience and self-discovery inspired others to accept themselves, embrace their own uniqueness, and stand up against prejudice. As time went on, Luna couldn't help but feel a longing in her heart. She missed her parents and the home she had left behind in Diversity Hills. With the newfound strength she had gained from her colorful friends, she decided it was time to revisit her past, her family, especially her only parents. With a bittersweet farewell, Luna set out on the journey back to Diversity Hills. She traveled through the familiar rolling green hills, each step bringing back memories of her past hardships. Luna's heart ached with both anticipation and anxiety. When she finally arrived in her hometown, she had noticed that her family, parents, and the other sheep of Diversity Hills had not changed at all. When they saw Luna, they continued to whisper behind her back, emitting mocking laughter. Her parents, upon seeing her, didn't display the joy of a long-awaited reunion. Her mother's tears welled up in the corners of her eyes as before, and her father, as usual, chewed on the grass slowly, sighing. Luna had initially wanted to share her excitement about her experiences and her new life with her parents, but that desire vanished instantly. Luna realized that the acceptance and love she had found in her new world were what truly mattered, and she could never stay at a place that couldn't see her worth. She had determined where she truly belonged, what she wanted to pursue in the rest of her life. Nothing has changed at all, Luna thought, turning to leave. The nostalgia for her parents made her look back at them, her eyes filled with regret and sorrow. However, this time, she no longer felt sad because of her own so-called shortcomings but rather mourned the supposed family bond that had never really existed. With a heavy heart, Luna bid her past farewell once and for all. The road ahead stretched far, yet Luna no longer harbored any fear or apprehension. She had learned not to be troubled by the judgments of those around her. To Luna, those people were merely residents of her hometown. She no longer needed the approval of others. Her own self-acceptance and the life she wanted to lead were the paths she would follow from now on.